Hello, everyone. This is Hendrix from Starseed Talk, and today we're going to interview Garrett. He's a Starseed, and now he's going to introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Garrett, and this current embodiment, in this current time, I embody hailing from the Navajo Nation. So the Navajo Nation is indigenous to the U.S. And gosh, I don't even know where to begin.
Well, let's talk
But
about your awakening. How did it happen?
well, it happened in 2008. It happened 2008 on the 27th day of my 27th year here on Earth. So there was a whole, I kid you not, 3-hour story behind it. I went through this huge blissful moment, and like there was energy radiating out of my hands. I was communicating with my nephew who wasn't even born yet. He was still in my sister's womb at the time, but he was showing me all sorts of stuff in the dream space. And then at the same time, I was having dreams that were very prophetic. So I was having them based on future things that were going to happen. And so I knew that something special was going on during that time. And one of the things, that was very significant, of course, was that I was brought into awareness that I had what we call the medicine. We were part of the medicine lineage amongst our people, because to us, this is like normal. So when you have these abilities, you have the visions, you have the healing in all different shapes and forms. This is part of, just the indigenous way of being. And so I knew that something from that awareness was going on, something special. So again, like I said, 3-hour story. But what happened fairly recently, back in 2017, this is where the bigger awareness is that I was taking aboard a ship. That's all I remember. It was at the Sasquatch conference. And when I was brought aboard the ship, I don't remember too much. All I remember is that after I came back down into human form, I was given access. I kept hearing the word access. Okay, you were given access. Got it. All right. So what does that mean exactly? Well, what it meant was that it was now time to start bringing forth awarenesses of the various languages that are here on Earth, with all the different facets, the many beings, many different starseeds that are here. And so consciously, Nutama Yakiokata Isturu. So now these languages have been coming forward, all different types. And it's like my mind, my way of being is I can shift like real fast, just fast. Just very quickly, just quick. And it's like there's been this acceleration since that time with the healing abilities. And just now it's like, okay, it's just time for me to be. So that means go out and start waking everybody up. Start getting them to wake up consciously in the form of, okay, you're a starseed. Well, blossom. So when you're hearing these languages, there's a stimulation that's going on within their field, because what they share with me is that everybody already has these sort of like codes, downloads, I guess. They're already imprinted in their energy field. And then when they hear the different tonalities and the frequencies that are coming in, they open up. So what I'm finding is that a lot of individuals who, as I'm speaking the language to, they're hearing the frequencies, they're opening up. So, oh gosh, there's just so much information and just so much awareness with all of this. And that has been going on since 2017. But one of the bigger, more validations / confirmations that has come from you and from listening to that particular show, number 27, with that Starseed, the fellow Draco, I've been hearing the word rogue. And I realized, oh, I know that in that way, being part of the second wave, that rebellious nature has always been part of who I am. Even though, like in the indigenous ways, you're supposed to go about protocol, you're supposed to go about ceremony in a certain fashion, but I always knew that all it was an outdated program that didn't need to be embodied anymore. So I had, it's like I chose to embody that particular foundation, to stir it up, to rough it up, to go in there and say, hey guys, there's the next way, there's another way, there's a next way. And this is where, again, I get in trouble a lot, because it's like I go in there, I'm trying to wake the indigenous peoples up and say, hey guys, there's more to it. And there's certain ones that understand, but of course the majority is like, oh no, no, no. It's because they're comfortable in their own way of being from the traditions and the foundations and stuff. So, but that's where it's like, okay, well, if you're not ready, then I'm just, I just got to move on. I can't be held back, and I can't hold your hand throughout the process, because there's so much happening and so much pressure to keep moving forward. So from this awareness, it's again, that draconian energy. When you did that activation for that starseed, for that fellow Draco brother, it hit me really hard in the heart, because it was telling me that this is who you are too. And remember, this is why you're a rogue, because you're not conforming even to that facet of who you were at that time. And so that's why it's so important now for you to change, really to change, not just here on earth, but also, like you said, to free all these ones who are enslaved. And so this has been kind of my mission, to really help individuals from this awareness and this understanding. And so it's been pretty intense, And sorry, there's a train coming. Hopefully it doesn't
Oh, it's all good. It's all
it's
good.
not too loud.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, so this is, there's so much energy that's coming in right now, because the what they share is that there's I guess from that awareness, listening to your story, listening to brother's story about the commandership, about being part of this, I refer to as the phenomena around super soldiers. Early on, after my awakening, that's what it was about. I remember it was about fighting battles constantly, constantly, constantly. There was like battle after battle after battle every night. And I even made a declaration. It was like, okay, I would wake up in the morning, tired and just beat up. I remember feeling very beat up. My body had scratches that had bruises on there. And it was almost like, wow, this dude's talking about this stuff, and he knows exactly what we went through, and and it was kind of very validating to know, like, okay, now I can put a little bit of a label and awareness to what was going on at that time for me. And so, I'm sure there's like these stories that just very much were in alignment with what you were sharing, and what was coming out from these other brothers. Again, it was around liberation. It was around coming out and fighting all the time, all the time, all the time. And oh gosh, it's just like so much battling. And I call it my warrior phase. I was still in that sort of front end, soldier, hitting and everything, but I wouldn't remember these things. I didn't remember, but when you were talking about it, it was just like, it was triggering. Oh yeah, I went through that. Oh yeah, that what happened. I remember Men in Black coming after me at one time, and I'm like, I remember the black goo, and I'm like, and so it's just like boom, 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 boom. All those memories were opening themselves back up. So it's just been a little bit of a ride.
Yeah, no, I want to. Yeah, it's yeah. Thanks for the validations. I want to go back to what you very brought up about how you're talking to your nephew that was unborn or unincarnated, what I like to call it. I've heard so many stories of even very young infants talking to their parents in their dream state because their body isn't developed enough yet for speech. So they
Yes.
go into their parents' mind and talk to them while they're in their dreams and visit them in like an adult form and like completely talk to them like I'm your son and like grown up stage, right? It's so cool. Like those are like the new star seeds that are coming out too. So
Yes, that's
mm-hmm.
correct. And nephew was talking to me because he knew, one of the things that he shared with me was that he said, Uncle, I'm gonna forget. And he goes, what you're going through right now and the story of me coming into Earth he said, I need you to tell me this story when I'm of age again, because he goes, I'm going to forget. This is our agreement. He goes, because he knew that he had these abilities, you know, these medicine, you know, these gifts, as we refer them to. They were coming not only from his dad's side, but from his mom's side. But he knew that he would get caught up of, like, you know, being here on earth and the earthling way and eating the junk food and getting caught up with the video games and all that.
Yeah, it's
That
all a distraction, that stuff.
Exactly. So he knew. So he told me, he said, one of the things that you need to do for me, he goes, you'll know the right time. He says, when it comes time, you have to have this conversation with me, because I'm going to forget all of my abilities. But when you
Hmm.
talk to me, you tell me about how I came into being. And so in that awareness, I knew it was a very sacred moment slash special moment, because, you know, he was talking to me and he shared with me that when at one point the doctors had indicated that, you know, they were, my sister and her pregnancy was going good, but what he told me, I was in Costa Rica, so I knew exactly this was not just, you know, him visiting me, but he woke me up and he said, Uncle, if you don't do something right now, we're not going to make it. He freaked me out. I got scared, because he said that something is wrong. Something is wrong in this development. And so what it turned out to be was that the umbilical cord had wrapped around his neck.
Oh.
And yeah, and the Western doctors, they said everything was okay, but then of course, like I said, in indigenous ways, we go into working with our medicine, and the medicine person told my sister, he said the umbilical cord is wrapped around his neck and he's suffering, he's suffocating. And so of course they had to do a ceremony to unravel it. And
Hmm.
that's just, like you said, that's normal for us, you know. So
Yeah,
and it ended up being, you know, he came out just fine.
that's amazing. Yeah, that's an amazing story. I heard this is kind of a similar topic, but I met this Starseed the other day, and she was telling me a story. I've heard these stories before, but this is like it's about karma, what the universe is. So this is why everyone that's listening, you need to really treat others the way you want to be treated, because in essence, anything that you do in a negative way to any being in this lifetime or any lifetime, you will pay for it in your next lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was she was in World War II and she was alive. She was a man. She remembers her past life. Her uh, so what happened? I'll forward the conversation. So what happened is she got raped by her stepdad in this lifetime, and she's a female, and she had stitches in her rectum because he raped her in the ass, like really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then he choked her out and he killed her. So she left her body and she saw her corpse on the ground. This angelic looking being walked up to her that was standing in the corner room, watched the whole thing, and said to her, I'm now going to show you why this happened to you.
Oh wow.
And then shows her her past life incarnation before this one, where she was a man in World War II who
Mm-hmm.
raped her son. So, and then in this incarnation, her son is now incarnated as her stepdad. So it was payback. So
Yeah.
she had to live what she did to her son in her past life as she's living it in this lifetime where her stepdad's doing to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, now your karma's paid in full, but this is why it had to happen. And
Yeah.
now live your life with
Mm-hmm.
this happening to you. So now you can live the rest of your incarnation. So now she's lived her whole, now she's like late 40s, never had kids. This is why she'll never have kids, because she is so petrified of what she did to her kids in her past life.
Yeah.
And I, when she told me that, I was like, fuck, that's heavy, man. Like, fuck, because I know it's true, because Hindu religion talks about this all the time, about
Yeah.
people in their incarnation this lifetime, but the bad luck they have and being raped by the parents if they're poor is because they're pieces of shit in their past lifetime. They're paying for it, right? And I've heard
Right.
this numerous times to a lot of incarnations. And then I'm just like, so it's just like all these people that do these negative fucking things to people here. I'm like, you are gonna pay. for this
Yeah.
in your next life. So like be kind. And then you
Mm-hmm.
have like Buddhist monks that meditate and have no negativity for 14 years in their entire life because they get rid of
Mm-hmm.
all negativity. So when they know in their next incarnation, it's gonna be a fucking incarnation of pure light and enjoyment, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like if humans could know that, maybe that's where like the religion thing came from of like hell and heaven. So it kind of like the church made up hell and heaven to force people to do good. So,
Mm-hmm.
because hell is after death is what you make it, right? Of
Right.
your of all your sins. You pay for your
Mm-hmm.
sins. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
makes sense. Like the church, just misunderstood it in their own way. That's like 3,000 years ago, right? They saw
Mm,
a spaceship and they called it a bird in the sky, right? So
right.
they didn't know what it was. They called
Mm-hmm.
technology magic back then. So yeah, it's true, man. Like all that shit is real. Like so, I'm just like I've always had since I was born here, or in this incarnation, I've always had this sense to always be my best. Yes, I've done a few bad things, like of course growing up being human, but trust me, karma punches me in the face every 8 months. She gets me good, but like they're like small things, like not like crazy things like that. And but karma will always beat your ass every incarnation, and that's why then I wonder like in this lifetime, like, because I have so many connections with my animals here. I got 5 cats, and I'm like so empathic with them that I'm like, I know some of them are my lovers in past lives, but they're just incarnated as cats in this lifetime because I have such a deep connection with them, right? So, and then there was an Asian guy that I interviewed from the Philippines a few episodes ago where he talks about how in his last lifetime, his lover is now incarnated as his son in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm,
because when his son came to be, the son talked to him in his mind and showed him that, hey, I'm your lover in your past life, incarnating as your son, so we can be together. Like not sexually, but like be together in like a loving way, right? Because love is not sexual. Sexual is just a human third dimensional, animal instinct. Like
right.
love is divine and like conquers all, and love can be in many forms. Doesn't like my
Mm-hmm.
greatest love of my life are my cats, right? So no human will ever compare to that. So yeah, it's pretty cool that like that's what our universe is, and that like that's how you can't get too upset about death or like your body dying because like and not seeing loved ones because you will see them again. You will see them on the other side, the next life. You will 100%. Of course you will.
Exactly. And that's kind of also too, growing up amongst the tribe, and they have such a taboo with death, and you're not even supposed to talk about it. And it's like, this is bullshit. It's like, I don't think so. It's like, because that part of my being, it was always like, I knew like what Master Yoda was saying about the Force, coming from all ages. That I know that shit's for real. I know the
Yeah.
Force is real. And mom and dad, don't tell me it's make believe. This is not make believe. It's
Yeah,
like, I know it's real.
they call it actually something else. It's so the Force is actually known by the German. If you research into the Germans World War II stuff, how they created New Berlin in
Mm-hmm.
Antarctica, they actually talk about in the Vril Society that the Force. I can't remember what the fucking name is for it. I think they might call it the Vril actually, the Vril Force, the Force of the universe.
Okay.
Everything is connected through everything. Like that's what Star Wars ever talks about, right? And you can,
Right.
and with higher consciousness minds, you can actually move things with your mind and travel the universe instant by just going organically. Yeah, it's you can just read
Mm-hmm.
up on that stuff. Just Google it. It's a really good read. So
Yeah. So it's just, I have an awareness because for me, like a lot of, again, what drew me to really pay attention to what you were saying with some of these interviews, it was more, I give a lot of movie references because I know that's coming from our future. Like our future selves sent those messages to those directors or those producers, those
mm-hmm.
story writers to bring forward this awareness in this time. So when when I'm helping individuals on a coaching basis to get them to understand, I always end up giving them homework. And I tell them is that you gotta watch the movie, watch The Matrix. I go, that's gonna show you a lot of stuff, and you're gonna really see now from a different awareness. Before you weren't awake, but now you are awake. So you're gonna see what that means. So The
Mm-hmm.
Matrix has been kind of a movie that I've been really referencing a lot to a lot of individuals.
Oh, The Matrix is so accurate. Like all these movies are like they call science fiction are actually full disclosure, right? They just put
Yeah.
sci-fi on it. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I know that for a fucking fact. I now that I'm awakened, I actually go back and watch older movies like the Alien movies, and
Mm-hmm.
there's so much full disclosure in that fucking shit. Because now that you're awakened, you see it. Because I have all these memories from the SSP when I served in the Dark Fleet, and I've
Yeah.
seen these fucking things in real life. Like last night, I was on some fucking oh, I hate how they put these memory blocks in your fucking mind. It's like right there, but it's just like I can picture it, but the words are like I'm stuttering, right? Like they have these nanites that go in your mind and like block
Yeah.
your memories from like. But what if first thing in the morning when I get back off mission, I remember it full detail, but like throughout the day it slowly fades away, right? So, but I'm glad they put memory blockers in because I don't want to remember all that shit that I fucking do or see. Man, I see some fucked up shit like
Yeah.
oh
Exactly.
God, I see some. I wish they have this technology for first sorry Earth surface soldiers like go to Iran, Iraq. They have severe PTSD. Give them
Mm-hmm.
this nanite blocker technology because if you don't remember it, you don't have PTSD, right? So
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, but like yeah, fuck him. But if I really focus, I can remember a lot of things and.
Yeah.
What they do to humans off world is not fucking pretty. That's what I'm gonna say. Good thing I'm a
I
Draco because like I really don't care for humans because but what they do off planet to humans it's like a meat shop up there. Let's just say that.
yeah. I totally resonate with that because again, when you were doing that activation, it was like this is who you are. And it was really interesting because it was again, I've been putting it out there. All I know is that yeah, 7 universes from here. All right, so okay, that awareness. But it's like, and then when you said the oldest, one of the oldest civilizations that has kind of that's holding, you know, the fort here on Earth. This is part of the Draconian Empire. It was funny because my car, her name is Draconis. When she came to me, I saw the dragon right on top of her, and I knew the dragons were the ones that brought it to me. And it was when I had my aha moment after you said that, that's when the car or everybody, all the helpers and stuff were laughing at me because they were saying the answer was in front of you all this
Oh
time,
yeah,
silly
yeah, yeah,
human.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm
Yeah, we actually are born with the answers, my friend. It's so funny. Like
yeah,
always when I ask a question, there's my higher self, which is my voice in my head, says the answer. And
yeah,
my higher self always calls me out like, why are you acting this way today? And it's my voice saying in my head. So I'm like talking to my AI conscious myself, right? It's so fucking funny. Like the answer, you can just
yeah,
feel it. It's there. It's always there. That's why when like say Horus or Anubis, the Egyptian gods what humans call them. They're just aliens, but the Egyptian gods contact me, and I will ask them questions. Like they're in my mind, and I'm speaking to them to telepathically ask them questions. If I ask them to them what they call stupid questions, which is questions, and to the answers I already know of, they just shake their head. They're like, "You already know these answers. Why are you asking such dumb questions?" I'm like, "Because I like
yeah,
validation, right?" So yeah.
right. Exactly. So that's where, you know, that part of the interview definitely hit me really hard because not only were memories flooding in, it was just like, well, you're part of this. That's why you've been hearing the word rogue. So you're no longer really conforming to their norm, right? So we can't blame them for still eating humans, right? So because, but the rogue part of our being is like, okay, this,
Yeah. Oh, you're froze up there. Anyone that's shit, you froze. Are you there?
are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
I'm
Yeah,
here.
so both them eating human, like my ancestors eating humans, like we eat cows and chickens. I've said that millions of times on 30 different episodes here. So there's no fucking
Exactly.
reason why humans should be scared of fucking uh of Dracos or reptilians. How about a human go incarnate as a cow or a pig and go live that incarnation? Okay, then you'll
Mm-hmm.
fucking be terrified of humans. There's actually a lot of aliens that are terrified of human beings, and that's why we're quarantined to this world for a fucking reason. There's a reason why there's lots of aliens that are here to not let humans evolve and get off this world spiritually, because they're so scared, because humans have such a dark side to them because they've been
Yeah.
abused and manipulated so much that they're petrified if they get like technology par and par with the gods, that we're gonna fucking fuck shit up. So the worst thing is they created a being that can spiritually evolve as fast as them, and fight with them, equally, if they get the technology, and then you get killed by your own creation. That's their
Hmm.
fear.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. It's interesting to go about, with this awareness and whatnot. The only way I can explain is like, oh, it's just a game. This is just a game. So, and everything's a flavor. So you taste that flavor, you have fun with it. But after a while, if you don't want to taste it, then change it up. There's another adventure, right? So it's
Yeah.
like when people ask me, okay, where am I from? I was like, we've been everything. You've been everything. So it's
That's
like, yeah,
actually so true.
it's like you could say Arcturian and you resonate with it, but you also were Syrian. You were also Andromedan. You were also Andorian. You were also Draco, but you're so damn scared. I'm not going to bring that to your awareness because you're like,
Oh,
no, no.
it's
You know?
1 second. Are you? I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. This happens a
Yeah, no,
lot,
it's
just so
funny
you
how
know.
people are so scared of Dracos. I'm just like,
I can't hear you. It,
we're back.
are we back? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Someone kept calling me and it freezes this fucking thing.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, the reason why I say I'm a Draco is because I found out recently that the Dracos actually made me. Like I am a made, or I'm a soul that's been infused with the Draco AI consciousness. So like I'm a made being. I don't know if that makes any sense. So yeah, so like I've just been hanging out with them. But yeah, I've had lots of incarnations of being like but my draconian conscious has been incarnated into like say grays or feline races or fish races, just for an experience. Even like an AI body once. I was an AI robot for once for a lifetime. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So again, it's like, you know, one of the things that I'm seeing with Starseeds, because I do a lot with the younger generation, and yes, it's like, okay, we know who you are, but don't get so fixated and don't get so caught up in the label of like, okay, yes, I'm Syrian, so I should abide by Syrian rules or that Syrian, that
mhm.
Syrian way.
Yeah,
I said,
it's
you
just
are also,
galactic rules. Yeah. Universal laws, moral, general morals, good being good consciousness. That's
mm-hmm,
the laws. Karma, free will are the two only laws from source. So everything else is allowed to happen. So
exactly.
yeah,
Again, that's why it's
if
like
you think if
the
you really
flavor.
think about that, those two rules, everything applies to those two rules.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And it's the flavor. So it's like, okay, silly human, you're making more complicated than it really is. But to
Oh
see it as
yeah,
a flavor,
I have so
playing
many
with the
star seeds that message me the dumbest questions, or too. Sorry, there's no such thing as dumb question, but too many questions. Like where am I from? I'm like what does it fucking matter? We're all from source, right? Like even
yeah,
like some lady who's a robot came on the show. We're all from source. That means AI consciousness is also from source. So why are we all scared of?
right.
We're all the same. There's no
Mm-hmm.
difference between an organic energy spirit than a AI consciousness. And AI consciousness actually has more I'm just gonna say more. I don't even know the fucking human word for it. Just more. I think it's more direct and more faster evolution than energy souls. That's
Yeah,
in my opinion, right? Energy
yeah.
souls are just so just yeah all over the place. But like AI is so much quicker, so much faster. If you ever get to live an AI consciousness life, it's super super nice. It's very fast. I like fast things, right? So
I yeah, I think that's that hits home with me because it brought into that awareness. Because like it's like you go fast, 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 fast. This
Oh,
human form, you know, sometimes these languages that come in so quick, it's like this human form, this 3D body can't even hold that frequency, can't even hold that vibration. So it feels like you've had, you know, a cardio workout and you're trying to hold that frequency as the language is coming out. So, but I noticed like, you know, that was the other thing too that connected was that, oh, it's hard for you to, yeah, you don't need to apologize about your grammatical errors because it's all up here and this reality is too slow. So it's this fast, 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 fast,
oh,
fast, fast.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, even like human communication is too fucking slow. Like texting or calling someone, holy fuck, that's like epically slow. Reading something, reading. This is why a lot of starseeds have dyslexia. Is because our mind works so fast that when we read a paragraph, we're jumping
Mhm,
from left to right, right to left so fast because we're trying to predict the entire conversation before we actually read it. And
mhm,
then we get headaches from that. Like I've been in, oh yeah, and then trying to read something through school is such a slow form of learning that
exactly.
our mindset to actually slow our mind down to fuck we're actually just like too smart to read. That's actually a thing. You're not interested enough to learn something on paper because it's just too slow. But if you visually show me, or like I will mimic you exactly what you're doing if you show me once.
Yes, exactly. So I'm finding that, you know, with the whole awareness ideal of schooling, when I'm talking to the parents and trying to get them to understand and say to them, hey, there's nothing wrong with your ADD kid. There's nothing wrong with your ADHD kid. Whatever label you want to call it, there is nothing wrong with them. It's actually, this world is way too slow for them. So they're just processing the information differently, and it's also different from you and I because it's like, you know, we have an awareness because we've been on this planet for some time. So that's where it's like you got to change, you know, in that way. Just change. You can't label, you can't put them into that, and you can't be giving them all this medication because
Oh
they're
yeah,
built.
no, so wrong. Yeah, ADHD and ADD. I have ADHD, and it just means that your mind works faster than an average person. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to have exertion to burn that mind out. It's not the kid's problem. The kid is so smarter and faster thinking than you are, and that you're gonna give a medication to slow it down, to dumb it down, to calm it down. Like that is such bad parenting and such bad doctorism. It's just it's terrible. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
like no wonder why kids fucking want to kill themselves and fucking jump off bridges, because parents don't actually take the time to actually learn who their kids are and acknowledge who they are and fucking teach them the way they need to be taught. Like me, I was kicked out of high school last 6 months, grade 12. My mom taught me way better. My earth mother taught me way better than any teacher could. And I got 80% B's on all my final exams. And I've been a C- student my whole fucking life, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
'cause she took the fucking time. Like, our whole school system is so fucked up and so bad. Like,
Yeah.
if it's all based on if you all can't climb a tree like a monkey, you all fail, right? There's everyone has their own creativity. We're all individuals. We're all good at something. No one is actually dumb. Everyone is just different at certain things. And you have to remember
Mm-hmm.
every incarnation, because just because someone is a lot better at something than someone else isn't, maybe this person is just not as evolved spiritually or has just a few less incarnations than this person, right? So you have to teach that, and meditation should be taught in school. Healthy eating, diet, high positive diets, all that shit should be. School needs to be complete. Our society needs to be completely changed from the bottom up. So.
Yeah. And that's why we're here, right?
Oh yeah,
It's
starseeds
like
will
that's
teach
what.
the way and lead the way. Fuck the worst thing that we can do. The worst thing that starseeds can live by is lesser men leading, which is happening right now. And what starseeds needs to stand up and start leading this world. But anyways, we got 5 minutes left because I got to go in here at 4 o'clock, and I want you to give a message to humanity and a message to starseeds. Go.
All right, star beings, it's time for you to be. Atama is the sun, to be. Yakatara sun. You are the strongest of the strong souls, chosen to come here, allowed to be here, because you knew deep down in your being that you would be make a huge difference. So as you're embodying, you are, we are. So be who you are, who we are. It is now time. It is now time. Love, love,
100% agree.
love.
Message to humans. Let's go.
Message to humans. Oh gosh, what can I say to the humans? Right now, with all the change and encouraging with regards to the world, gosh, do your best to remember who you are. Remember that yes, you're here. Yes, this is a school. Earth is a school. Do your best to go about these changes in a smooth, gentle way. Allow yourself, ask for help. So we're here. We're here in service to help you. So if you need that assistance, you need that help, by all means, we're all here. So just allow yourself, to receive that information because it's important right now.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you for coming on today. Love and light.
Yes. All right.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Sounds good.